everyone, and welcome back to another video from Learning to Learn. In this video we're going to be looking at adding and subtracting fractions, which out of the 4 operations with dealing with fractions is considered the hardest. So the first thing that we do is, if the denominators are the same, we simply add or subtract the numerators and the denominator stays the same. So in this example you can see 3/5 add 1/5 will give us 4/5, or 7/8 take away 3/8 will give us 4/8. So if the denominators are the same, we just add or subtract the numerators. If the denominators are different, then what we need to do is we need to find a common denominator, which means that we're making the denominators the same so that we can add or subtract them. So for example, in this one we've got 1/4 and we're going to add it to 2/3. The 4 and the 3 are what we call the denominators, the bottom part of the fraction. Now the easiest way to find a common denominator is to multiply the two denominators together. So in this case, 4 times 3 will give us 12. That is our common denominator. Then what we do is we're going to convert the two fractions at the top, so the two that are in the equation, into twelfths. So from 1/4 to twelfths, we ask ourselves, what did we do to the 4 to get to 12? And we multiplied it by 3. So we do the same to the numerator of 1. 1 times 3 gives us 3. Then we ask ourselves, what did we do to the 3 to get to 12? And we multiply by 4. So we do the same to the numerator. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So 2 times 4 gives us 8. So 3/12 and 8/12 is 11/12. And remember, 3/12 is equivalent to 1/4 and 8/12 is equivalent to 2/3. Therefore, 1/4 and 2/3 is 11/12. Let's have a look at another example then. So in this one, we're going to start with 7/8 and we're going to take away 1/3. So again, because the denominators are different, we will have to find a common denominator. And like I said, the quickest way to do that is to multiply the two denominators together. So in this case, 8 multiplied by 3, which will give us 24. So we're going to take the two original fractions in the subtraction at the top and we're going to turn them into 24ths. So same thing again, we ask ourselves, what did we do to 8 to get to 24? And we multiplied it by 3. So whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top. So we do 7 multiplied by 3, giving us 21. Then we look at the 3 and we say, what did we do to 3 to get to 24? We multiplied it by 8. So we do the same to the numerator of 1. So 1 times 8 gives us 8. Now you can see we've got 21 24ths and we're going to take away 8 24ths. And when we do that, we get 13 24ths. Now because the two fractions at the bottom are equivalent to the two at the top, therefore we can say that 7/8 take away 1/3 is equal to 13 24ths. We're going to have a look now at another example where we need to find a common denominator, but it's slightly different. So in this one we've got 2/8 and we're going to add that to 1/2. Now the reason that this is different is because I did say that the easiest way to find a common denominator is to multiply the two numbers together. So you could multiply them together to get 16. However, we can see that 2 is a factor of 8, i.e. it goes into 8. So we can turn them both into 8ths instead of 16ths. So the first one, it's not going to change. It's already shown as 8ths, so it stays as 2/8. But the second one, the half, we ask ourselves, what did we do to 2 to get to 8? We multiplied it by 4, so we do the same to the numerator of 1. So 1 times 4 giving us 4. So we get 2/8 add 4/8 is 6/8. So 2/8 add a half is 6/8. Now we can take this one further, and if we recognise that 6/8 can actually be simplified, both of those numbers can be divided by 2, and when we do that, we get 3/4. So 2/8 add a half is actually equivalent to 3/4. Now we're going to look at a different type of addition or subtraction, and this one includes mixed numbers. So we have lots of different types of fractions. You can check out our video on that if you're not sure. But this time we've got 2.5 and we're going to add it to 3/4. The first thing we do is we turn the mixed number into an improper fraction. And when we do that, we can see that 2.5 is equivalent to 5/2. Then we follow the same steps as before. So we've got 5/2 add 3/4. We're going to find a common denominator by either multiplying the two denominators together or seeing if one goes into the other. in this example, 2 goes into 4, so we're going to turn them both into quarters. So the only one that needs to change is the first one. We ask ourselves, what have we done to 2 to get to 4? We've multiplied it by 2, so we do the same to the numerator of 5, and we get 10. So we get 10 quarters add 3 quarters is 13 quarters. So 2.5 add 3 quarters is 13 quarters. And what I've done then is I've converted it back into a mixed number of 3 1/4. That is everything that you need to know about adding and subtracting fractions. It can take a while to get the hang of it, so just keep persevering and giving it a go. Thank you for watching our video, and we'll see you in the next one.